Hello everybody, welcome to CRS class. Today we are going to be discussing the parable of the prodigal son. And our Bible reference is Luke chapter 15 from verse 11 to 34. That is where you will find the story. Now before we start, what is a parable? A parable simply means an earthly story which has a heavenly meaning. An earthly story with a heavenly meaning. And today, our focus today is the parable of the prodigal son. Let's start with the story. Jesus told this parable to the people, and he said, a father had two sons. The younger one was a bad boy. He was very wasteful. Come to think of it, the word prodigal means wastefulness. Wastefulness, that is the meaning of prodigal. And so the younger son was wasteful. So he wanted his share of the family property before his father died. He told his father to give him his share of the family property. You know, normally you are not supposed to ask your father for your share of the family property while he is still alive. It is after the death of your father, normally, that the children have to inherit whatever their father left behind. But in the case of the prodigal son, he asked that his father should give him his share of the family estate while the father was still alive. His father did not, being a very good man, did not object. So the father gave him half of the family property. This young man gathered everything and left for a distant country. Some Bible version will tell you that he left for a far journey, a far country, okay? And on getting to this new country, he met friends, useless friends in that country. And he wasted all his money on them. Drinking, smoking, and carrying women. He wasted the money, all the money. And when his money finished, all his friends left him. Yes. When you waste your money, it is only when you have money that you have your friends around. Once you waste all your money and your money is gone, trust me, your friends they are going to abandon you. So all his friends left him, and there was great famine in that country, and he was alone, and he was very hungry. He started to look for work. Yes, now that he has no money, he has to work to feed himself. He started to look for work. He could not get job. But at the end, he got a job with a pig farmer who gave him a very stringent condition. The pig farmer said, I don't have much food to give to you. You know that there is famine in the country, and so I will give you only a little food. And the young man he agreed, and he started working with the man. But the unfortunate thing is that since the food that the pig farmer was giving him wasn't enough, in fact, he was also eating from what the pigs were eating. And you know that what the pig eats is rotten food. So he was always hungry. And one day, he came to his senses. Yes, the prodigal son came to his senses, and he became sorry for what he has done to his father. He said, how many of my father's servants are there in the house, eating and drinking? In fact, they eat 3 times in a day. But here am I, dying of hunger. Why should I stay here starving while there are plenty food in my father's house? And he said, no, I will go back to my father and apologize because I know that I've wronged him. And so he decided to return home and to say sorry to his father. And when he reached home, he said, Father, I am sorry because I have sinned against you and against God. In fact, he told the father that the father should not consider him as one of his sons any longer, that the father should treat him like one of his paid servants. Okay? But his father was a very good man. And so his father was happy when the younger son said he was sorry. So when he saw him, the father was very happy. And so the father forgave him his sin. And the father even ordered the servants that they should bring clothes. They brought a very neat clothes. He gave it to the son to put on, put rings in his hand, and he ordered the servant to kill one of the biggest cattle that they were being keeping. Yes, the biggest, and they threw a party. Now, when all this was happening, the senior son was away in the field with the cattle. And so, in the evening, as he was coming back home, on getting close to the house, he was hearing noise in his father's house. Music everywhere, dancing, and they were making merry. And he called one of the servants to find out what was happening. And the servant told him, say, that your brother that took part of his property and left has come back. In fact, he has squandered everything and he has come back. And your father has accepted him back. And the second son became very angry. And he told the father, he said, Father, all these years I have been with you. You never threw a party for me and my friend. But this son of yours that has gone out to waste all your money, look at what you are doing for him. Guess what the father said to him? The father said, my son, you are always with me. And because you are always with me, all I have is yours. And that is the end of the story. Now, this parable has meaning. What is the meaning of this parable? The father of the prodigal son represents God. Yes. Remember, we say a parable is an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. So the father of the prodigal son represents God. The prodigal son represents bad people in this world. The father forgave the prodigal son when he said he was sorry. And so, in the same way, God our Father is ever ready to forgive all bad people when they say they are sorry, when they repent of their sin. Therefore, the way to the Father is to say sorry whenever we do something wrong. Yes, God is ever ready to forgive sinners. He's waiting patiently for us to say we are sorry anytime that will go contrary to his law. Have a lovely day.